welcome back to Budget Repair. Today's episode, we're going to be doing some archaeology on this 305 that we pulled out of the Camaro. It's been sitting outside for about 10-11 months, so I'm excited to see what we'll find in here. We'll be diagnosing this engine to see what went wrong. Let's get to it. So, we're going to start our endeavors into this engine by removing the oil pan. So, what I'm going to be looking for here is going to be any carnage, so I can inspect the crankshaft and all the rods and bottom sides of the pistons. I can see any carnage from that side. I'm also looking for any glitter or chunks inside. That will tell me if this engine has been starved for oil, or if something was dropped down there, or if something like the timing chain, or if the timing chain went. I can usually tell stuff like that. Okay, well, there's our first sign that something is amiss. There's a dent in the oil pan, which is preventing me from taking off one of the bolts here. Okay, I'm going to show that to you right away. So you can see it's right here. If I see if you can get some light in there, you can see this should be flat. Here, this wall right here should be flat, but it's dented out there. Unfortunately, my camera shut off in the middle of me talking, and I did not notice. So I got the oil pan off, and I had to hammer out the dent with a screwdriver, but it came out perfect, and there is a lot of carnage. So you can see, if my thing would focus, this is all just metal shrapnel all along here. Oddly enough, there's like one piece in the pickup tube, maybe two. So that's good. And then there's this bolt, this nut just sitting there. So much shrapnel, it is insane. All of these look fine in here. But we come to the problem here. If I can, this piece right here, this is these pieces right here, both of them. They've been welded together. You can see the seam, and it just kind of moves around in there. And this piston down in here is beat up very badly, and there is a lot of carnage down in there. Unfortunately, this camera is trash, but you don't have to see much. Just look at that crank journal. That is done. So before I flip this over, I just wanted to show you the amount of shrapnel that I found. This one is the biggest piece. it looks like a piece of piston. You can see some diamond patterning on that. Yeah, that was literally all here and right here and strewn across here. That's just from that area. It is just so much shrapnel. It is insane. And I bet there's more down in there because, you know, this engine has been sitting upside down exactly like this for almost a year. And there's a little bit down in the drain plug too. And there's just all kinds of crud in here. This is just... There's also things, I'm not sure what they are yet, but that looks like stamped sheet metal. I'm not sure. So let's dig into this thing a little bit more. If you ever want a really good workout, you should try to turn an engine downside up on an engine stand. That's where the real work gets done. Okay. So, yeah, already I can see a lot of cobwebs, that's for sure. I noticed there is one push rod missing, so that's going to be interesting. So the first step is going to be removing all of these, the entire push rod assembly. So rockers and push rods, and then lifters, or maybe we'll leave the lifters, I'm not sure. I don't plan on taking the crankshaft out. But basically, once we're done that, then we take off the heads. But before we do that, I'm going to take a wire brush and try and identify exactly what this engine is. I doubt it's the original engine from the car because I believe they had been using center bolt valve covers and heads before or during the years of my car, but I cannot say for sure. So let's get to looking. Okay, interesting. So this engine was a 327 from 1968. So I'm not exactly sure what application it was used for, but from what I can see on the internet, it was used from everything like Corvette, not Corvettes, trucks, cars. I think it might have been an option for Z28 Camaro. So basically, this is one of the more common ones from what I can gather, but the 327 is not bad at all. It's better than a 305. So I would like to save this motor if I can, but we'll have to see just how bad the damage is. So I have yet to look at the stamping numbers. I'm going to see if that clears anything up, and then we'll see. This is a 2-bolt main, by the way. I don't know if I needed to mention that, but back to the time lapse. Okay, well, I haven't really been able to find much. It's very fuzzy online, but from what I can tell by the casting mark, it is a 327 from 1968. I believe it was used in just about every single application there was. So I think we're going to get the rocker assembly out and take off the heads and see what kind of carnage awaits us. And if anyone does feel like helping me out in the comments, this is as good a view as I can get of the code there. Try and get you in some light there. It's very indecisive over on the left-hand side. And then, for anyone who is curious, this is the casting number. Yeah, so if you're curious or want to do some online sleuthing, then I would not be mad if you told me where it was. Alright, let's start tearing it down. I'm going to test now to see if we have any bad or stuck valves. So when I hit them with this, you should hear like a pling sound. Okay, it should sound like that. Okay. Okay. I think most of them seem to be unstuck, but there are a couple that don't sound quite right. I'm going to switch you over to the other side here. Push rods seem bent, but that's just on first glance. Okay, let's see here. They're all moving. Okay. Okay, good. Excellent. Okay. let's see here. There's a spider. I think he's dead. Bit rusty, quite dirty. Wow, a lot of stuff in here. This one's quite oily. But I can't see anything that's too terrible. Oh! I think we found the problem here. Come have a look-see. So, one of these is not like the other. I couldn't tell you which one, to be honest, but I think there might be something a little funny on that one. And hey, check it out. There's a spider. Hi, Mr. Spider. Okay, so I think we found out why this engine was seized. I'll try and deal with the spider. See how far I get. Alright, so the spider has been banished. And this does not look good. So you can see there's quite a lot of surface rust in this one. I can't see much cross hatching. And you can see the rings here. This is not good. So I was right in thinking that some of those shards were piston. Although it was so dark in there, I actually could not see that this cylinder was completely shot. So let's go take a look at the other side. See what that looks like. Okay, now here's a few knots. And let's try it. Oh yeah. These are coming loose a lot easier than the other engine. Now, how many spiders did we find on this side? We found 2 on that side, 1 live, 1 dead. So, let's see. Okay. Well, yeah, 1 spider here, another spider crawling out there. There's liquid in this one for some reason. Spider nest here. Can't tell if that's a spider or not. Got to take a closer look. But what is that? I have no idea. There is some shrapnel in these cylinders, so that ain't good. But everything is intact, I'm happy to say. At least from what I can see. So let's get this head on the bench, clean off the space there, and see exactly what we're looking at. Okay, so let's start taking a peek at this cylinder right here. See if I can't get you a little bit closer. So, yeah, that is complete and total garbage. Wow. This is bad. Looks like this had a lot of carbon on it too. Not too much, but just like a healthy layer. My next course of action is going to be to remove all the lifters. And then we're going to flip this engine over again. And then I'm going to start removing the pistons and rods. I won't bother with the cranker cam because those are probably, I'm not going to use the cam in this one. I'm probably going to put a little bit of a healthier cam in this one if it's still good. And the crankshaft, that is completely toast. So yeah, let's get to it. See just how hard this is going to be to get those out of there. Up you get. There we go. Might could have had some debris on that one. But that's all the lifters out, and they all came out pretty easy for the most part. Okay. Now I believe we're safe to turn this engine upside down once again. Excellent. So, now we need to, I might have to take the crank out after all. We'll see. Let's start here, why don't we? There we go. Ah, there's more in here. So, inside this piston, we have, a chunk of the neighboring connecting rod and the connecting rod bolt embedded into this piston. So you can see, if I can focus, This should be flat. It should not have this bird lip right here. And this should be a silver finish, but it has ground through the copper. That is the middle layer, and it has ground right into the steel. And it has mushroomed out the edges. You can see it a little bit better there. So that was one of the bearings that came off of here. And basically, this crankshaft is completely shot. There is no chance that anyone could use this thing ever again. So, on the other hand, if we get the same bearing from the other side, this actually looks fairly healthy. A little bit of wear. Come on, focus. A little bit of wear, but it's still covered in oil, and you cannot see the copper. You can see a little bit of wear right in the middle there, but that just looks like normal old engine wear. Not severe at all. So that's good. I'm still not exactly sure what killed this engine, but it was probably someone just abusing it and hammering on it. Alright, well, try as I might to get a time lapse. Unfortunately, the phone keeps shutting off. But I did manage to get all the pistons out. And you can see, these actually look somewhat healthy. You know, they have a nice shine to them. They're nicely polished up. And then there's this one. So, this is the one next to the one that was damaged. And this is the one that had nothing on it. So, yeah, this crank is garbage. That, if you really wanted to, you might be able to save it. Maybe, but I doubt it very much. So this is how I have all this stuff laid out. So these are all the lifters and rods and, not rods, push rods. So unfortunately, it was missing one push rod. And I also could not get those two lifters out, or rockers out, I mean. So, yeah. And here are the pistons and bearings. So, these are the bearings of the piston that was next to the bad one. And you can see the stud smashed itself into that piston. I can't get that out right now. And this piece was sitting right inside there. That is part of this. That used to go right there. And this was still bolted to that. So I had a heck of a time getting that out. And this nut I found in that pile of trash, which was right at the rear main seal on the engine. And these are all the rings. I had to push this piston back up. So I took all the rings out and I pushed it up so I could actually get to the nut. And ta-da! There's the piston. And you can see these are the other two biggest pieces, and there's a couple chunks in here. You can find a couple here and there, and I believe, yes, yep. I think this is what was left of the bearings in this piston. So, yeah, that's really bad failure. I think that's one of the worst I've seen. But at least it didn't blow a window in the block. Now, I'm gonna flip this back up again, and then, who knows, I might enlist my dad's help, and we're gonna try and see if the bores are still good, if anything's cracked. But this will have to be machined. It's probably gonna have to get bored out, but this engine might be savable. I don't know. So, let's go see. Let's get some lights and a couple rags, see what happens. There we go. There's a lot of wear on the cylinder walls, a lot of scraping, but not much of an edge. There's a little bit, but not very much at all. This one still has a little bit of cross hatching left, but not very much. Again, a lot of vertical lines on the vertical wear on the cylinder walls. Oh, this one has barely anything. Oh yeah, there's a good bit of cross hatching left. Not really much of an edge at all. A little bit of cross hatching, but again, a lot of wear. See if you can't get a better position. Okay. Let's see about this one. This was the one with dead piston. Basically no cross hatching left from what I can see. Oh, there's a little bit over there. A lot of wear, but it doesn't really look all that bad. This one's got some rust up at the top here. Little to no cross hatching. This one has a little bit more of a lip. This one, not much cross hatching at all. A little bit of rust in this one, but not bad. Not really much cross hatching. So, it looks like this block is actually good. Of course, we can't know for sure until we send it off to get bored and such. Then they'll check for cracks in the block. But it actually looks like the block is still in good shape, which I am very happy about. And there's no deep gouges or large cracks that I can see. But yeah, I think this was all very informative. I had also forgotten to show you, my dad had kindly taken off the flex plate for me. And he found this. He had quite a hard time taking it off, but as you can see, it's actually, there's a lip on there. Something's mushroomed it. He thinks that the torque converter was loose, because if you look at these bolt holes on the edge, they're really wallowed out. So yeah, that was another interesting discovery. But yeah, so that's as far as I'm gonna take this video. I just wanted to see if the engine was indeed toast or if it's savable. And after my dad came in and took a look at it, he thinks that this could probably do with a trip to the machine shop, and when we could probably stuff it back in another vehicle and off it goes. So I don't really have any plans for this motor yet, but it'll certainly be nice to have a 327 lying around. We also think that the crank might be able to be ground down, but we're not sure. I think we're just going to put this into storage and save it for a rainy day. So, thanks for watching.